Imagine you return something you bought online. The barcode is scanned, and your refund appears almost instantly. But the box is still sitting on the counter. Your money has already traveled, the product has not. And when it finally moves, it may never return to the store that sold it. It enters a second supply chain, one built around a colder question. Is this product still worth moving? You pressed return. The system heard decide. The word return makes retail sound as if it has an undo button. It does not. The original delivery began with a defined record. The system knew the product's SKU, its stored location, its destination, and the price that had been paid. Forward warehouses are designed to move thousands of known items in one direction as efficiently as possible. A return begins with uncertainty. The box may have been opened, a seal may be broken, a cable may be missing, the item may be untouched, lightly used, damaged, or simply no longer wanted. Before it can become inventory again, somebody or some set of rules has to discover what it has become. That is why the refund and the product can separate. The refund is a promise to the customer. The object is an inventory decision. In some programs, the promise can be fulfilled when a barcode is scanned, long before the object has been inspected at a return center. From the customer's screen, the purchase is over. For the product, the difficult part has just begun. One box on one counter does not look like an industry. Millions of boxes do. In 2025, the National Retail Federation and Happy Returns estimated that merchandise returns in the United States would total $849.9 billion. Their survey placed the overall return rate at 15.8% of annual retail sales, and the online return rate at 19.3%. That does not mean 1 in every 5 parcels follows the same route. Categories, retailers, countries, product values, and policies differ, but it does reveal the scale of the problem. E-commerce did not merely make buying easier. It moved a part of the fitting room, the showroom, and the product trial into people's homes. The forward network became faster and more predictable. The reverse network inherited the uncertainty. Every easy return now creates a second question behind the first sale. How much of this product's value can still be recovered? To answer it, retailers built an infrastructure most customers never see. The first surprise is that a return does not always travel backward through the same path that delivered it. For eligible items, some return networks remove the box and even the printed label. A customer presents a code. The item is accepted. Then it waits with returns from other customers. FedEx describes one service that combines eligible lightweight returns into a single shipment. Happy Returns and Amazon also describe consolidation in parts of their U.S. networks. Instead of sending 10 separate packages through 10 complete journeys, the system can group them before the longer trip. But consolidation is not a universal rule. Fragile, oversized, or high-value items may travel individually with more packaging and more verification. Speed, risk, and cost change the route. This is the logic of reverse logistics. The network is not trying to repeat the first delivery. It is trying to find the least expensive path to a useful outcome. A tote of returns may cross a loading dock, enter a carrier network, and arrive at a facility built for a completely different kind of work. A normal fulfillment center asks, Which item did the customer order? A return center asks, what exactly came back? At the return center, the box becomes evidence. The barcode connects it to an order. The packaging can reveal broken seals or damage. The contents must match the description. The item may be checked for signs of use, missing pieces, or faults. Amazon's description of its US process offers one documented example. It says returned items are inspected before their next path is chosen. Products considered for Amazon resale receive another evaluation. Electronics may be powered on, tested and factory reset, then graded from like new to acceptable. Other retailers and logistics providers use different rules. Some steps are performed by trained workers. Other steps are supported by software. A process may combine both, but the underlying question is similar. The original retail price is only the beginning of the calculation. A simplified decision might look like this. Expected resale value minus transport, handling, inspection, repair, delay, and risk. If the remaining value is high enough, more work can make sense. If it is low, every extra movement can destroy what little value remains. This is why two apparently identical returns can separate. One may be close to a resale facility. Another may require expensive shipping. One may still be in perfect packaging. Another may need testing, parts, and time. One may be in season. Another may be losing value each day it waits. The customer saw one button. The backend sees a branching decision. Behind that decision are several possible doors. The first is the shortest. Return the product to sellable inventory. If it satisfies the retailer's standards, it may be offered again as new, used, pre-owned, or open box, depending on its condition and the rules of that program. The second door leads back to the selling partner. Marketplace inventory does not always belong to the platform operating the warehouse. Returning it to the seller can move the next decision outside the retailer's network. The third door is repair. A product with enough remaining value may justify testing, replacement parts, cleaning, repackaging, or specialist work before it is offered through another channel. The fourth door is liquidation. The item can leave ordinary retail and join a bulk lot, where speed and scale matter more than recovering the full original price from one unit. The fifth door covers outcomes such as donation or recycling, when resale is not the chosen route and the product is eligible. Amazon publicly describes versions of all of these paths in its US returns process: resale, return to selling partners, liquidation, repair through specialist vendors, donation, and recycling where possible. There is no honest universal percentage for these doors. The answer changes by company, category, condition, contract, country, and time. A sealed appliance and a damaged electronic device are not the same problem. Neither is a low-cost accessory and a large piece of furniture. What unites them is not their destination. It is the decision being made. Which path preserves the most useful value without creating even more cost? And sometimes, that path leads to a market hidden behind the market where the product was first sold. On the ordinary retail shelf, one item has one listing and one customer. In liquidation, the unit can disappear into a lot. Walmart's official B-Stock liquidation marketplace says approved resellers can bid on excess inventory, store returns, and refurbished merchandise in quantities ranging from single pallets to truckloads. At this stage, the system is no longer asking how to recover the original shelf price from one product. It is asking how quickly a large group of uncertain products can move to another buyer. The scale changes, the buyer changes, the information available can change, so does the price. A reseller may inspect, sort, repair, separate, and offer individual products again. The return has not vanished. It has crossed into another layer of commerce, one that exists because the first seller valued speed, space, or certainty more than the possibility of a higher price later. The product's second life may begin with somebody else's bulk purchase. But there is an even stranger route, one in which the box never moves at all. Amazon calls one version of this a returnless resolution. Participating FBA sellers in the United States can, for eligible cases, issue a refund without requiring the customer to physically return the item. Amazon says the option can be useful for some low-cost products and international sellers, where the journey back may cost more than it solves. This does not mean customers can simply choose to keep anything. It is a program-specific decision controlled by the seller and the platform's rules. But it exposes the system's logic with unusual clarity. Sometimes the most efficient return route is no route. The money moves, the product stays, the transaction and the object separate completely. And the box from the beginning is still sitting on the counter. To the customer, a free return can feel like no cost. To the system, it is a choice about who carries that cost. The 2025 NRF and Happy Returns Survey found that 82% of respondents considered free returns important online. 76% said they were more likely to choose an option offering an instant refund or exchange. Convenience influences where people buy. The return policy becomes part of the product itself. Retailers balance an easier purchase against shipping, processing, inspection, fraud controls, time, and reduced resale value. In the same survey, processing and carrier shipping were the two most common reasons merchants gave for charging for returns. The cost can be absorbed, reduced, recovered through resale, or shifted into a fee. There is no single answer. But there is no costless answer either. Free describes what the shopper paid at the return screen, not what happened behind it. You thought the return button would undo a delivery. Instead, it created a new journey, measuring condition, distance, time, risk, and whatever value remains. The box may return to a shelf. It may be repaired, liquidated, donated, recycled, or in an eligible program never asked to travel. The button said return. The backend heard. Decide.